If Nintendo were to start developing an AI-driven console in 2024 with the intention of releasing it in 2032, the timeline would likely be broken down into several key phases: research and development, integration of cutting-edge AI technologies, hardware design, software ecosystem development, partnerships, and finally marketing and launch. Below is an alternative development timeline: 2024 to 2026. Early RD&I Foundations Market Analysis and Concept Ideation. 2024, Nintendo starts by researching AI trends, gaming industry forecasts, and competitor developments. AI-driven capabilities like procedural content generation, real-time adaptive gameplay, and personalized gaming experiences are explored. Initial partnerships with AI experts, universities, and tech companies, like NVIDIA, IBM, or AI startups, are established. AI framework prototyping. Late 2024 to 2025, basic AI frameworks for real-time adaptation in gameplay, learning algorithms for NPC behavior, and procedural content generation are tested. Focus is on designing AI that can learn player behavior over time and adjust gameplay for personalization. Hardware and software feasibility study. 2025 to 2026. Exploration of AI chips, custom or third-party like NVIDIA's AI-focused GPUs, for console integration. Experimentation with cloud-based AI services to handle massive real-time data processing, creating a hybrid cloud console architecture. Prototype AI-driven gameplay mechanics are demonstrated internally. 2027 to 2028, hardware and AI core development. Console hardware design and iteration. 2027, the AI-driven console's hardware architecture is finalized, focusing on AI processing, cloud integration, and high-speed connectivity. Special focus on AI acceleration chips, enhanced memory architecture for real-time learning, and ultra-fast data streaming between the cloud and the console. AI engine refinement. 2027, significant breakthroughs in machine learning algorithms, enabling the console to analyze player actions, adjust difficulty dynamically, and create user-specific experiences. Nintendo explores integrating voice recognition AI for natural player-console interaction, for example, giving commands, voice-based tutorials. AI game development tools. Late 2027, development of new tools for game developers that allow them to create AI-driven features easily, like procedural worlds, adaptive stories, and intelligent NPCs that learn and evolve over time. Beta versions of developer kits, SDKs, are distributed to select developers to experiment with AI capabilities. 2029 to 2030, game development and AI expansion. Game studio integration. 2029, Nintendo collaborates with key first-party and third-party studios to develop titles that showcase AI-driven mechanics. The focus is on flagship titles that will highlight the console's unique AI capabilities, such as AI-generated open-world environments, complex dynamic narratives, and personalized experiences based on the player's previous interactions. Cloud system integration. Late 2029, Nintendo finalizes its hybrid cloud AI system. Cloud infrastructure handles large-scale AI computations while local hardware handles gameplay processing. This ensures smooth experiences without taxing the local hardware excessively. AI-powered game worlds. 2029 to 2030, in-game AI-driven ecosystems are developed. These could include persistent game worlds that evolve over time, independent of player interaction. Enhanced NPCs that grow in complexity, learning from how different players interact with them, and adapt accordingly. 2031, testing, polishing, and marketing. Large-scale beta testing. Early 2031, closed betas for select games and their features are run. Feedback is gathered to fine-tune AI responses and performance. Nintendo focuses on optimizing the player experience, ensuring the AI doesn't frustrate players or create unfair challenges. iGame Marketplace. Mid-2031, a unique marketplace is designed for AI-powered content. Players can create, share, and download procedurally generated levels, challenges, or worlds tailored to their preferences. Developers are encouraged to create AI toolkits that players can use to modify games. Marketing and launch preparation. Late 2031, Nintendo teases the new AI console with high-tech demos showcasing the AI-driven capabilities, evolving worlds, player-tailored difficulty, deep personalization, and more. Nintendo collaborates with major streamers and influencers to demonstrate how the AI can interact with and adapt to different playstyles, creating unique experiences for every player. 2032, official launch of AI console. Release date, mid-2032. The AI console is released globally. The focus of the launch campaign is on the console's unique ability to deliver personalized, ever-evolving gaming experiences. Launch titles include AI-driven open-world games, multiplayer experiences with smart NPCs, and procedurally generated challenges that change every time they are played. Post-launch ecosystem. Late 2032, continuous AI updates improve the learning algorithms and add new features to the console. New game releases heavily feature AI-based mechanics, setting a new standard for the gaming industry. Nintendo focuses on expanding the console's online services, including cloud gaming, player customization, and AI-created content. Key features of the AI console in 2032: AI-powered personalization, games adapt to the player's preferences, learning from past behavior to customize the difficulty, narrative, and even world design. Procedural content creation. AI-driven algorithms create infinite variations of game levels, environments, and challenges, offering endless replayability. Voice-driven interaction. Players interact with games using natural voice commands, with AI systems able to respond dynamically to the player's intent. Evolving game worlds. In-game worlds evolve based on player actions, as well as independent AI that continues to grow and change between gaming sessions. Cloud integration. For AI, the console leverages cloud computing to run complex AI algorithms, reducing hardware demands and enabling seamless real-time adjustments. By 2032, this AI console would redefine how players experience games, making them more immersive, adaptive, and personalized than ever before. 4.0 2025 to 2026, concept and pre-production. Initial concept development, 2025, Nintendo's creative leads, like Shigeru Miyamoto or successors, brainstorm ideas to integrate AI into the Mario universe. The core concept revolves around Mario exploring dynamic, AI-generated worlds. Levels adapt to the player's abilities and decisions in real time. The game's AI should be able to create tailored platforming challenges, puzzles, and enemies that adjust based on how the player engages with the game. Prototype design. Late 2025 to 2026, small prototypes are developed to test AI-driven level generation, similar to how Super Mario Maker allowed for procedural content but now with AI assistance. AI is tested to dynamically create new levels based on player skill, ensuring the learning curve is personalized. AI for evolving enemy behaviors, for example, Koopas and Goombas learning from player actions, is prototyped. Early ideas for an adaptive narrative, where the plot changes based on gameplay decisions, for example, rescuing different characters or choosing different worlds, are explored. 2027 to 2028, core gameplay development. AI-enhanced level design. 2027, the game team develops the core levels, using AI to create multiple variations. Each world, for example, grasslands, desert, underwater, etc., has endless permutations driven by the AI, allowing for a near-infinite exploration. AI systems for real-time adjustments are refined. For example, if the player struggles with a particular platforming challenge, the AI might slightly adjust level difficulty, making jumps easier or adjusting enemy placement. AI is integrated to create unique paths or shortcuts that only appear based on the player's skill level and exploration habits. AI-driven enemy behavior. Late 2027, development focuses on AI-powered enemies that adapt based on the player's strategies. If players always jump on Goombas, the AI may cause them to spread out or move unpredictably to avoid the player's attacks. Boss battles become AI-driven, adapting to player strategies over multiple attempts, offering dynamic phases or attacks based on how the player interacts with them. AI-generated power-ups and items, 2028, a system where power-ups appear based on how the player interacts with the world. For example, if a player prefers exploring, the AI might reward exploration with more hidden power-ups. Levels may change to introduce new mechanics depending on how frequently players use certain items, like the Fire Flower or Superstar. 2029 to 2030, Advanced AI Integration and Testing. AI World Evolution, 2029, the AI begins to influence how entire game worlds evolve. Different paths, subworlds, or challenges may become available based on how players explore the game. The idea of an evolving mushroom kingdom is explored. For example, if a player repeatedly visits a world, the AI may introduce new elements to keep things fresh, such as new NPCs, changing weather, or growing vegetation. Dynamic storytelling elements, late 2029, the Mario game begins to integrate a dynamic narrative that changes based on player choices. While remaining a classic platformer at heart, subtle changes in the story, like which characters you save first or how you interact with NPCs, could lead to different endings or unlockables. Story AI is tested to create dynamic dialogues or events that reflect how players engage with the world. For example, Toad or Princess Peach might comment on the player's decisions, creating a more personalized narrative experience. Large-scale testing of AI mechanics, early 2030, the game enters a major internal testing phase to refine how the AI adapts to different types of players, ensuring it provides a tailored yet consistent experience. Feedback is used to tweak the difficulty adjustments, ensuring the AI doesn't make the game too easy or too difficult and preserves the sense of challenge and progression that defines Mario games. 2031, Polishing and Final Testing. Polishing the AI systems, early 2031, extensive playtesting focuses on how well the AI-driven features blend with traditional Mario mechanics. AI adjustments to levels, enemies, and items are fine-tuned to be seamless and not feel forced. World evolution and procedural generation are tested for variety. Nintendo ensures that the AI keeps the game fresh even after multiple playthroughs without losing the series' classic charm. Final world and level design, mid-2031, while AI is heavily used for generating dynamic content, there are still handcrafted levels designed by Nintendo's top developers to serve as the foundation. AI-generated worlds and levels are closely monitored to ensure they maintain the Nintendo polish and feel like they belong in a Mario game, not randomly generated. Narrative and character testing, late 2031, AI-generated dialogue and story events are tested to avoid repetition and ensure they feel organic. The dynamic interactions with NPCs are reviewed to maintain Mario's simple but charming narrative style. Final tweaks to how the AI tailors the game's ending based on a player's journey are made to provide a satisfying conclusion, with multiple possible endings. 2032, Marketing, Launch, and Post-Release. Pre-launch marketing, early 2032. Nintendo showcases the game's AI-driven features in pre-launch marketing. Demos focus on how the game evolves with the player, offering nearly infinite replayability. Prominent influencers and demo stations highlight the AI-generated levels, demonstrating the game's adaptability to different skill levels. Launch of AI-driven Mario game, mid-2032. The Mario game is released as the flagship title for the new AI-powered console. Initial reviews praise the dynamic gameplay, where levels are never the same twice, and the AI's ability to subtly adjust challenges to suit the player's abilities. Post-launch updates, late 2032 and beyond. AI updates and patches are rolled out to improve world generation, enemy AI, and player adaptation based on feedback from millions of players. New DLC worlds and levels are released, featuring more advanced AI techniques, such as deeper narrative elements and evolving game environments based on global player data. Core features of the AI-powered Mario game: AI-generated levels. Each level is different for every player, adapting to their skill level, playstyle, and preferences while maintaining Mario's platforming essence. Dynamic difficulty adjustment. The game automatically adjusts its difficulty in subtle ways, ensuring players of all skill levels find an appropriate challenge. Evolving world and NPCs. As players progress, the Mushroom Kingdom itself changes and new paths, areas, and even NPC interactions evolve based on the player's actions. Adaptive enemy behavior. Classic enemies like Koopas and Goombas learn from the player's tactics and adjust their behavior accordingly, offering new strategic challenges. Personalized power-ups. The iTailor's power-up distribution, rewarding exploration, skillful play, or specific gameplay styles with customized items and boosts. This timeline would result in a Mario game that remains true to its roots but offers a groundbreaking experience, with infinite replayability thanks to AI-generated content and adaptive gameplay. 4.0